in the spring tournament. So we'll see if they can prove something right here and right now as we get into the match. And I'll just move these around so everything matches up. Okay. Let's go. Oh, to your comment, Frag, they're actually, because this tournament is all online, I have received confirmation from the TO that mainland players were eligible to join. No joke. So, yeah, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of different types of ping. I'm pretty sure they did it that way so that they'd have an easier time getting more teams to join. Because finding a whole bunch of all Hawaii teams would have been pretty hard. Yeah, no joke. Okay, so as you guys all know, the buffs now spawn in 155 along with all the other smaller camps. Makes it a little bit harder for the solo lanes and the blue side to get experience and gold advantage. But now the buffs are becoming even more important as Matthew plus Nick face checks right into awaiting we make you Fizz. Chunks of damage, chunks of life. So that was that was like getting your hand caught in the cookie jar, literally, and they were just like, oops, never mind, we didn't want to come in here, we didn't want your red anyway, and we didn't want to take our own red anyway, so instead they opt to invade we make you Fizz red. So that's a pretty good choice, better than dying there. We see Jarvan trying to impose himself onto Tryndamere, and Tryndamere's like, get out of here. What are you doing? Oh, the bot lane's trying to fight at level 1. Leona not as effective level 1, but once she starts hitting like level 2, level 3, then you gotta start getting scared. She gets her Zenith Blade stun combo. Graves has a couple levels into the buckshot. A lot of damage. And all they'll have to protect him is Janna's shield. Ow! And wow. Talk about contention of the buffs. More invading going on. Ignites are put down. The Zax's passive will proc. I'm not sure if they can protect the blobs. Oh, the Lissandra Ice Shard did not hit. Jarvan walking into an auto attack. And make you Fizz immediately capitalizing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Orianna's not getting out of this. Oh, actually, I actually expected Zac to follow over, but he may not have had his slingshot ready yet. Unfortunate. But even with Orianna getting out, it's still a really big 2-for-0 exchange. I don't think we make you Fizz is worried anymore. If there were any first game jitters, they're definitely gone now. Very convincing exchange and just a really awkward decision by Math Team plus Nick. Cleanse being popped, waiting on the exhaust to fade. Images isn't going to go for it, he's just going to be patient. He knows that the next time that hits, Caitlyn will probably die. But they got a little greedy, trying to pick up the little Slimer blobs. And Shimmy Snap with the wherewithal to not only get the kill on Jarvan, but to go for Lissandra as well. So, taking advantage of an awkward situation right there for sure. And you can see right now that what happens when this kind of a lane gets ahead, they basically just zone you out and walk up to you. Caitlyn can farm from range, but she's not going to be able to get every single creep at this point because the risk of getting stunned up and killed is just too great at this point, even with the bush warded. That and the fact that Leona still has both of her summoners, as well as Graves, is very bad news. So she'll have to be very careful. Luckily though, the wave will hit her tower. We'll see if Make You Fizz wants to back out and shop, or if they want to keep applying pressure. They know that J4 is a little behind now since he did die, but they don't want to get too cocky, I think. The saving grace though is that because Caitlyn is so low, if Jarvan does come to gank, it's very likely that they could turn on Caitlyn if she tries to help. And Lissandra trying to W Tryndamere to walk away, but too late at that point. He already got the auto off, so the damage was already done. Taking a look at the CS across the board, top seemed to be even. Slight lead for the mids for Orianna. And Graves just with a pretty convincing advantage right now, really showing how ahead he is in lane. 23 to 43. So, and Caitlyn had the base, so it's even going to be more CS loss for her. Lissandra trying to wear Tryndamere down with autos, but they are not doing any damage to him. He's basically free farming. And it looks like Leona wants to base as the combo lands on Orianna, but not going to be low enough to kill. And it looks like Images will head back as well, spend some of that gold that he's built up. As we got surprise coming from VO16, Ahri pops ult, easy dive. And that's why Zac is considered such a problem. He can just gank from those points in the Fog of War that most champions just wouldn't be able to do consistently. So, yeah. Orianna just a little careless right there, cost her life, cost her some gold. As we see Blue Gina finds himself a wild Janna, pink warding the try. Doesn't really care about the retaliation too much as VO16 moving in for a steal on the blue team's red, and he will get it. Jarvan not feeling cheeky enough to go in there and try to smite it himself. Actually, I don't believe his smite was even up. Yeah, his smite was not up for that, so he had zero chance of getting that. Okay, apologies for that as we see J4 making his presence felt. The shockwave comes down, doesn't really do that much damage though, and we have a Zac with a fresh red buff, so Orianna cannot stay very long. She has to be very, very careful. She's already died once. Dying again would just be like snowball complete at this point. Interestingly enough though, Ahri going back for a Chalice. I would expected a couple Doran's rings instead, but I guess she wants to get the extra MR and the cooldowns for later. As we see Leona landing her EQ combo, but in the turret range, not really a whole lot they could have did right there. Graves did have ulti, but no sense in going too crazy. Good shield right there, protect her from the buckshot as Ahri continues to push up. Now has taken a slight CS lead. Top lane's just kind of been existing, not a whole lot of action going up there. Lissandra can't really stop Tryndamere from farming, and Tryndamere's probably not going to try to tower dive, so they're both just content to do their thing. We see the Lissandra going with the double cloth armor, most definitely going to be going into Zhonya's. That's an item that Lissandra likes anyway, so not a bad choice. And we see Orianna forced to back once again. Zac with double buffs, pinging out his own blue, gonna pass that off to Shimmy Snap. Nice and easy. And yeah, we'll see how she makes use of that. Her ulti, Spirit Rush, is up once again, and her Ignite should be up very soon. I think it's coming up just now. So she'll have another all-in opportunity. As we see, Tryndamere is level 6, but has his ult, decides not to go for it though. He knows that Lissandra's ult will make her untargetable, so no sense in risking the tower dive when the farm is essentially his to take. No point in getting too overconfident. Some good damage coming onto Ahri from Orianna. As we see Zac jumping in, Let's Bounce gets used, the Janna ult to push them away. Collateral damage comes out, nice buckshot. Catches at least 2 shots right there. And the auto for the finish.
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh, and it looks like Blue Gina has disconnected. That would explain why he didn't do anything. There is a pause available. I'm not sure if they're going to take advantage of it or not. Okay, so it looks like just a minor disconnect. He's back already, so play will resume as Ahri eats another full combo. Kind of the exact same situation as she was in before when Zac dove her under her tower, so we'll see if he tries it again. No, Orianna's just going to get out of there. Still keeping up in the CS though, which is good. Ahri has finished her Grail, so that's some good CDR for her, and MR, a little bit of AP as well. And of course the mana regen. As we see Graves now up 90 CS to the 79 or so of Caitlyn. Has his BF sword at the 11:45 minute mark. Score is now 0-4 in favor of We Make You Fizz. A little over a 2.5K gold lead. And so far, Math Team plus Nick doesn't really have an answer for any of the lanes. Zac is pretty much having free reign over the enemy jungle. Has already stolen the red twice. And yeah, Tryndamere still free farming, and that's, I mean, Lissandra's not dying, but Tryndamere scales very, very well into late game. He is essentially a hyper carry in melee form, and the more free farm he gets, the more dangerous he's going to become that much quickly. It's essentially like giving him free kills if for every 300 gold he gets in free farm. So he's going to become a problem pretty soon. He has his... That, and he has his Avarice Blade, I believe that is right there. Yeah, so he's already ticking away extra gold per second. So as we see another invade on the red. I don't think Rogue Yokai has gotten a single red in his own side. He did steal the red on We Make You Fizz at the beginning, but I don't think he's gotten his own red since then. So very unfortunate. But with the bottom lane pushed up too, that's more CS and gold. One more shot right there that they're missing out on. Graves buckshots in, quick draws in rather. A nice solar flare catching Janna. I don't think she's gonna be getting away though. Squashing time. Flashes in to secure the CC. Why not? As we see, oh, and the tower just going down. Very, very nice. And she Spirit Rushes in the opposite direction of J4, keeping her safe. The Ignite will not be enough to finish her. So that Unholy Grail really paying dividends. In that exchange, if she had gone with a more Glass Cannon build, she might have got the kill a little bit faster. But it's also possible that Orianna's damage output might have been enough to trade. Now she has the Grail and damage in the needlessly large rod, so that is going to be really, really bad for Orianna now. Ahri's very, very snowballed right now. So the laning phase is more or less over at this point. Both bot and mid have been won for We Make You Fizz. We'll see what they decide to do from here. If they decide to just allow Tryndamere to keep farming and then pressure objectives elsewhere, we shall see. And Just approaching the 15-minute mark now. The gold lead is now 22.2 to 16.6. A very commanding lead right now. We make you Fizz in the driver's seat. And Tryndamere with the static shiv. The reason that you see a lot of Tryndamere's go static shiv is not only because of the items that it builds out of, you know, with the Avarice Blade and whatnot, and the cost affordability of it, but because of the lightning proc, you could potentially get a crit on the lightning proc, and it will crit everything that the lightning hits. So some really funny AoE crit potential right there. As we see that top lane does indeed finally fall. Lissandra was basically pushed up the entire time, didn't really get to do anything. And bottom lane, seeing more fighting. Demacia gets popped, but it's mainly just to block off We Make You Fizz so that they can run, so that they can try to run, but nothing doing for Caitlyn. No flash was up, her cleanse wasn't up yet. She just had to run. And we see the Janna shield quickly erase in a couple shots. Nice buckshot for the kill. Images can probably pick this up too if he wants to. One more shot. Yep, there we go. The barrier will be popped. Again, the barrier, so much utility. Oh, but he might be caught out. Orianna does have the ball. Oh, but he missed. And now Zac could potentially turn this. And I believe his passive is up. Yeah, so Orianna can't finish this. Can Graves catch her? Oh no, he cannot. Not close enough. In the meanwhile, Zac reviving, but Lissandra finally getting to do something with her skills. Picks up the kill with her ulti. But while all this is happening, we've seen this so many times, these extended fights, and there's always somebody split pushing. Always with the split pushing. Objectives so important in this game. And We Make You Fizz has a really good understanding about keeping objectives under their control. As we can see, Trondamore has already pushed all the way up to their base. So much global gold coming in for We Make You Fizz now. They are living the life of the rich and famous right now. Lissandra will clear that out, but there's no way she's going to be able to kill Tryndamere. Tryndamere will just walk away, no problem. Taking a look at the gold right now. Yeah, Tryndamere just spending his 1,800, has completed his Blade of the Broken Game. That's going to give him a lot more attack speed, a lot more chasing ability, a lot more sustainability in fights with the lifesteal. And once he has that Fury up to max, he's just going to be critting very, very hard. So again, Tryndamere didn't really get too much in terms of like kills in the laning phase. He did pick up the kills earlier when they fought over the blue buff, but the rest of it was all just free farm, and you see the result. He's just incredibly big right now. Ace in the Hole comes out, just tickles Ahri on the back. Nothing really to worry about right there. As Math Team plus Nick knows that they're really deep in their jungle area, but they are really afraid to get too close because they know how strong they are right now. Nice Janna tornado, not only knocking up Leona, but also catching Zac on the backside. Prevents him from Eing in. And a nice evasion of the skill shots there from Images. As we see JDK just giving no cares. This tower will go down. He does have his ult as well, so there it goes. And he's just gonna fight. He knows that there's really no point in trying to run. And he does pick up the kill. Look at that lifesteal, my goodness. J4 so far behind right now, couldn't even pick up the crumbs of the kill right there, and Tryndamere will get away, and he is now 2-0-2. Leona initiating again, so much damage right now coming out from We Make You Fizz, as Images is just going deep, deep, deep on Orianna. And Ahri is there now too. That's going to be even more damage. Flash burn from Janna. She will get to the fountain, but more pushing is still going on. The Nexus turrets are going down. This is pretty amazing. We Make You Fizz is probably going to pay for it now with some deaths finally, but it is just hit the 20-minute mark, and the Nexus is already close to being exposed for Math Team plus Nick. The shutdown finally coming down from Shimmy Snap, that 500 gold, but at this point, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. 35k to 23. We Make You Fizz showing why they are undefeated right now, why they were top 3 in the spring tournament. Just playing with so much control. They're just on another level. Okay, so looking at the items comparisons, taking a look at the gold comparison, we have a total of 5.9 on Orianna to 8.5 on Ahri. Jarvan at 4.4 to the 5.8 of Zac. 8.1 on Tryndamere, most of it just from farming, and 5.2 on Lissandra. And of course Graves with 7.8 to the 5.2 of Caitlyn, so very, very, very big differences. Even in just the global gold alone, you can see how much extra gold Leona has compared to Janna. And the items certainly speak for themselves. Last Wish for Bloodthirster completed. Caitlyn doesn't even have her Infinity Edge yet, or her level 2 boots. Ahri with the Death Cap, another needlessly large rod. Could be for a DFG at this point. It honestly doesn't matter. And Images and crew could be looking towards the Baron. Yeah, they might want to do it. It is warded, but
it's not how
they could probably still do it anyway. Tryndamere continuing to farm up, getting close to 200 already, has even passed Images in farm at this point. And yeah, it will be a Baron started off by BO16, and Graves and Leona will be there to join him shortly. Tryndamere keeping everybody distracted. Tryndamere probably gonna go down here. We'll see if he can duel and lifesteal his way out of this. The ult does get popped a little prematurely, but yeah, okay. And there's the Baron buff. So that's going to be big. Unfortunately, Tryndamere does not get the luxury of the Baron buff. He didn't really need to do that. I'm pretty sure that distracting Math Team plus Nick was not necessary at that point. The Zac passive does get popped. He probably shouldn't have flashed right there. He was probably dead regardless. But it doesn't look like We Make You Fizz is all too worried about it. Little miscommunication right there. Images probably under the assumption that Cataclysm was up, but a lot of the ults were just blown, killing JDK in the bot lane, so there was really not too much danger there. A little bit past the 23-minute mark. Make You Fizz in all kinds of control right now. Chunks of life coming out from Ahri's spell circulation as Let's Bounce gets popped. Wow, Lissandra not even ulting herself, just totally resigning herself to her fate. And that is a overall a 4-for-1. Orianna just rezzing now. And doesn't look like she's in any hurry to get back out there to die again. She knows what's coming. As another inhibitor is taken down. Super minions are pouring into the base right now. And yeah, there's really nothing that Math Team plus Nick could do at this point. This game is over. One last stand at the Nexus for good measure. GG's being called out. But Images is on the Nexus. And that will be GG going to We Make You Fizz. Nice and easy.